Knoxville National. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses, a man and machine. They're full wide, green flag, showtime, the Knoxville Nationals are green.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of On the Pole Racing here. Getting set for the 358 division here at Kokomo Speedway. Let's go live to the racetrack as we get set to roll. There we go. All right, qualifying is about to commence. Out on track right at the moment, we have that number 513 of Jeff Barker. He's rolling around out there on track at the moment, trying to make the best of his time. Down there on the bottom side, you got Trevor Guru out there laying down a 13.272. Right now, your fastest time goes to Anthony Morano with a 12.791. Kinsey with a 12.866. Dean Reynolds with a 12.870. Going to keep an eye on to see which part of the track really suits these. Drivers are continuing to qualify here. Oh, come on, you. Clay Christopherson out there. Palmerloo out there as well. Palmerloo laying down a 13.025 rate at the moment. Qualifying has ended. Everybody's qualified. Getting ready for the grid of heat number 1. Starting on pole is going to be the 513 of Jeff Barker. Mike Brewer there in second. Dylan Kinsey there third. Joseph Grundy there in fourth. Kurt Schatzer fifth. John Morano there in sixth. Scott Riom in seventh with Clay Christopherson out there in eighth. That is your heat number 1 for your 358 division as we get started here this evening from Cocono Speedway. I'm trying to find the best camera view here for us. You see at 639 of Dylan Kinsey down there on the inside. There you see the 518 of Joseph Grundy. Green flag is out there down and away. Mike Brewer out front, leading them down on that inside lane. Now you see Jeff Barker up there on the outside, going to try to get that outside lane worked in down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back around here onto that front stretch. Tiny little track here tonight. As we come back down here in the corner number 1, not much of a straightaway really when you think about it, how quickly these cars go from turn to turn. It turns almost, some of these drivers can almost start to think of it almost as a circle if they can get the cars to sling right. There they roll off of the corner, down there off the backstretch. Get a little there, two sideways there for the 513. Or, I'm sorry, no, the 390 of Brewer. As Brewer's up there on the out. No, I'm sorry, that's it. I was saying it right. Jeff Barker getting a little too sideways down there on the inside. That's going to help Brewer get through up there on the higher line. I see them all battling off there. 3 wide off the corner. Christopherson down there on the inside lane. Going to move himself up into second or third. Around goes the 513 rather. Jeff Barker. He ends up through on the grass. 4 laps to go here in heat number 1. Off the corner, here they go. Down across in the corner number 1. So top 3 drivers really hanging tough there. Is up there along the outside wall. That's Dylan Kinsey, seeing if he can get something up there. Not quite yet. As they come here sliding off of corner number 4, back down into corner number 1. Mike Brewer out front, but look out. Here comes Christopherson way down there on the inside. He's going to get that catfish line to bite for him. As he brings it out there into the front with 1 lap to go down here in the corner number 1. Brewer's going to try to get down there as well. Now they come here in the corner number 3 and 4 for the final time here in heat number 1. Out here on the front straightaway, Clay Christopherson taking the win here in heat number 1. Mike Brewer there in second. Joseph Grundy there in third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. Scott Riom there in fourth. Decent heat to get us situated here. All right, results from heat number 1 are going to be Clay Christopherson, Mike Brewer in second, Joseph Grundy third, Dylan Kinsey fourth, Scott Riom there fifth, John Morano sixth, Jeff Barker there seventh, Kurt Schatzer there in eighth. All right, here for heat number 2. Going to have Bob DeGood there in first, Michael Battaglia there second, Dean Reynolds third, Anthony Morano there in fourth, Craig Bristol out there in fifth, Alex Palmerloo there in sixth, with Trevor Garou in seventh. All right, they're getting stacked up there. Not sure exactly what happened. We head on down through on the front straightaway, getting lined up side by side. I only see 5 cars out there right now, and I thought there were supposed to be 7. So unsure what happened. Pace car pulls off onto that very tight pit road. Handing the lead over it. Okay, there's 6 drivers out there. Dean Reynolds not on track. Green flag is out. Michael Vitelli, he's out there as the control car. Or, no, he's not. He's actually sitting there second. The 7 of Bob DeGood down there on the inside was supposed to be the control car. As they fight 3 wide, almost 4 wide there coming off the corner. And they do go 4 wide down the stretch into corner number 1 with the 75 clear down there on the bottom side. That is that's Trevor Guru. And they fight on down here off the back stretch side by side there for the lead is the 213 of Michael Vitelli and 7 of Bob DeGood. The 32 of Anthony Morano, though, up there along the outside line. He's going to try to get that up there line to bite here as he comes here off at corner number 3. He's 3 wide there with the leaders up there along the outside line. Way up there against that outside wall. Can he get that outside line to finally get some grip to it? Looks like he's going to as he gets some decent run there off the corner. He does get out there in front. Where is our tower here for you folks here? 4 to go here in heat number 2 as Bob DeGood's down through that grass like we saw there in the first heat. We saw the leader end up going down through the grass. Not quite where you want to be. Anthony Morano there in front. As you got Vitelli down there on the lower side of the racetrack. Look at Morano, though, hanging up there on the outside of the racetrack. Now he brings it down towards the middle line there a little bit, coming there off at 3 and 4. 2 laps to go here as they come here out of corner number 1 and 2, a little farther back. Craig Bristol, Bob DeGood back here fighting for positions as they are up there. Now Trevor Guru is going to try that line here as we've got the final lap in the air for Anthony Morano and company as they come down here off of corner number 1 and 2. Down to that back stretch into corner number 3 and 4. Morano is out front, going to take the win here. Vitelli in second, has close on his heels Alex Pomerleau for this 3rd spot. In fourth there is Craig Bristol from what I can see. We'll see if that holds up here as Heat 2 comes to an end. All right, Anthony Morano will get the win there in heat number 2. Michael Vitelli second, Alex Pomerleau in 3rd, Craig Bristol 4th, Bob DeGood there 5th, Trevor Guru there in 6th, Dean Reynolds there in 7th. Heat number 3, going to have Randy Shreves out there in front, Kelly Wheeler second. Harold Klump will roll up here in 3rd with Sam Bachman in 4th. Randall Dixon there in 5th, Brian Moore there in 6th, John DeBay there in 7th. So that is your starting grid here for heat number 3. Off the corner, here they go, Randy Shreves and Kelly Wheeler getting on them loud pedals. Randy Shreves down there along that inside. Here comes Kelly Wheeler up there along that upper line. And way up top goes the Randy Shreves, that's, who's up there on top? Sam Bachman, maybe? In that 007? Trying to run that Morano line there a little bit as they are all fighting for position. What tight racing we have going on here so far. 3 wide there, or 3rd through 4th, as we got Bachman up there into the outside wall. That's going to drop him back as Wheeler's battling on the outside there of Shreves. As Shreves is holding on tight running that bottom lower line. Kelly Wheeler's up there, and we got Moore and others have crashed out here in turn number 1. Brian Moore, John Dubai, Sam Bachman rolling around up there on top. Brian Moore ends up bringing it into the pits here in heat number 3. Come down here through turns 3 and 4, up there towards the outside wall. That is going to be the Randall Dixon machine getting up there with Sam Bachman. That's 4th and 5th, sorry. Battling it out. We have Brian Moore there in the pits. John Dubai running back there after getting collected with Brian Moore. Harold Klump out there in 3rd. Kelly Wheeler 2nd. Randy Shreve still hanging on there to 1st. They come rolling through here. Final lap here for the corner. Now up turn number 2 they go here. Turn number 3 and 4. Final time, Randy Shreve's going to win here. Heat 3, Kelly Wheeler there 2nd, Harold Klump there 3rd, Sam Bachman back there in 4th. Heat 3 results coming in. All right, Heat 3 results. Randy Shreves out there in front. Kelly Wheeler there 2nd. Harold Klump there 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Randall Dixon 5th. John Dubai there 6th. Brian Moore there in 7th. And we'll be back in a short time as we get set for the main event.
These dollars would come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them for others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae in my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, that it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here from the Speedway. A starting grid for your 358 division here tonight. Clay Christopherson out there in front, Anthony Morano in second. Randy Shreves will roll off in third. Mike Brewer fourth, Michael Vitale fifth, Kelly Wheeler sixth. Joseph Grundy there in seventh with Alex Pomerleau there in eighth, Harold Klump in ninth. Dylan Kinsey will round out your starting 10 with Craig Bristol there in 11th, Sam Bachman 12th. In 13th is going to be Scott Rio, 14th is going to be Bob DeGood, Randall Dixon in 15th. John Morano back there in 16th with Trevor Guru in 17th. John Dubai is going to roll off and start 18th tonight with Jeff Barker in 19th. Dean Reynolds starting tonight 20th. Brian Moore in 21st. Kurt Satzer there in 22nd. And 22 cars taking your field here tonight for your feature event as they come rolling down here on through the start line. Green flag is out and away. Here we go. Down here in the corner number one they go. Side by side. Up there on the top side. That's the 332 or the 32 of Anthony Morano as they come down here into corner number 3 and 4. As you see a few of them back here trying to get up there to speed. A couple of them blinking out a little bit here as we got them coming around off at corner number 2. Back down into corner number 3 here on lap 3 already. Up the 30 to complete. Laps are going to tick away quickly as we got a pileup. Plus, no, we don't. We each have a lot of red marks on my screen for some reason. We've got John Morano back here in 21st. All the other drivers coming up here off at corner number 4. Back across the start-finish line. Anthony Morano out front, up there against that outside wall. We got Randy Shreves there in second. Here they go down there in the corner number 3 with Mike Brewer in third. Michael Vitale there in fourth. Really tight back here through the center of the field. What a nice pack of cars we got here running at Kokomo. I must say, being at Kokomo, I'm surprised that we're keeping off of each other as well as we are, as this is a tight little racetrack when you get down there and actually start running beside others. And they work here off of turn number 4, back down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Some beautiful camera shots here as we can roll down there off the back stretch. And in the corner number 3 and 4, back around here on the front straightaway. You can see some of them really trying to get that inside line to work. Like there you see the Clay Christopherson machine, the 51. Now you got Sam Bachman up there in 11th. Jeff Barker there in 10th. Alex Pomerleau up there in 11th. They're 3 wide. There you got them side by side. 3 wide there with Vitale in the middle. As they work there off of 2. 23 laps to go down here. And we got one stopped on the bottom edge of the speedway. Not trying to figure out who that is. We got one up there into the outside wall. That's Kurt Schatzer. And it looks like Bob DeGood might be the one stopped on the inside of the racetrack. Take a look here. They come around here through turn 1 and 2, coming on the back stretch. Keep an eye on that number 7 as he gets, oh man, up there, and yeah, oh no, he's not the one that comes down there across the bottom. That looks like that's the 4 sitting there of Scott Riome. Triple 4 of Scott Riome, I want to say he was sitting down there on the inside of the racetrack. Hopefully everybody enjoying the racing action so far here at FFTV on the pole, along with our main channel here tonight, Coast to Coast Racing Network. Catching all the live action here from Kokomo with the 358 division. Then we'll move on to the big block 358s. And then yours truly is going to end up in a Pro Lake model out here on Kokomo tonight. We'll have to find out if that's a good idea yet or not. As pace cars off on pit road, here they come out of turn number 3. A loud pedal gets in. Anthony Morano down and away with Randy Shreves up there on the top side trying to catch now. But look at that run down there on the bottom side by Brewer. trying to get that bottom side worked in. As you see, that track starting to slicken up a little bit as they're 3 wide for a couple different rows back here as they roll off of turn number 4 back down here into corner number 1. Everybody's side by side. You got a few of them running really well, others that are struggling. As you see them down there through the turn, middle of the corner, really tight there, as that's the 213 of Vitale kind of tangling there. I want to say that's a 639's up there on the top side. I'm unsure who he was kind of battling with, as my eyesight's not quite that great to pick out these numbers out there. You got Michael Vitale there in the 213 coming down there on the bottom. Okay, that was the 2 he was kind of getting real close to. Here with 17 laps to go. And you can kind of see here as we go on board with Trevor Guru as he tries to battle down there on the bottom side. And you can listen to that car. He's not really on the throttle all that much. I don't think these guys are hitting full throttle. Caution is out somewhere on the speedway. Harold Klump. Down there with the 51 of... Yeah, that's real tight down there on the bottom side. All right, number 2, Harold Klump. Vitale end up almost touching as he gets it sideways. End up getting a little side swipe there from the 7. Bob the Good. They now roll here off of corner number 1 and 2. Pace car is going to pull off, make a hard right or left-hand turn down there on the pit road, and hand the lead and hand it back over to Anthony Morano, who chooses that outside line. Mike Brewer down there on the inside. We saw him really giving Morano a run for the money down there on the inside. They come to the green. Down here across the stripe, Morano getting a great start, but look out for Brewer as he got pretty quick down there as well. But not quite right now as they come down here into corner number 3 and 4, falling back there into about 4th. Now as they roll here off the corner, gets back up there and come across the line in 3rd. But at 639, Dylan Kinsey, he's got it figured out as he's up there along the top edge, getting it rolling along, and he's up to 2nd. I see Clayton Robinson down there on the bottom side. He's trying to get something figured out for that bottom line as we're back under caution once again. John Morano around. As him struggling a little bit there through turn 3 and 4. Got to come here off the corner, falls back a little bit. Ends up just driving in too deep. Couldn't quite get it to turn. Ends up there with, trying to see who that is. I think that's the 75. No, not 75. That's 397 of Alex Pomerleau. Oh, John Morano and Alex Pomerleau getting together. They get set to roll off of the track here. Up there along the top, single files. We're 12 laps away, now 11, as they come down here through corner number 1. Anthony Morano up there along the outside. There comes Sam Bachman getting a good slingshot down there on the bottom side, getting himself up there in the 2nd. With the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. He's going to pull off in 2nd here, coming off of turn number 3. Caution back out. This time being brought out by Bob DeGood. There you see Bob DeGood coming here off the start. It's an okay restart. Comes down across the stripe, and this is where the trouble happens. And he comes down and just gets into the bottom side. 55 of Brian Moore. Everybody back up there on the outside row. Here comes that pace car back down there onto pit road. Off of turn number 4 they go. Here they go down across that straight line. Down here through off of start into corner number 1. Everybody gets going this time as Dylan Kinsey's up there on the outside. Sam Bachman there third. Mike Brewer back there in fourth as he tries to gain his spots back up through there. That's Clay Christopherson. And look out, here comes Trevor Guru. He's up 11 spots from where he started the night. With Dean Reynolds, he's also up quite a few spots as he's up 10 spots. Jeff Barker now falling back a little bit. Sam Bachman up 9 spots. Everybody sliding around out there trying to find that little bit of traction. They roll here off the corner. There you see up there on top. Dylan Kinsey. Anthony Morano running that top side. Clay Christopherson down there on the low side. You got Sam Bachman kind of running a middle line there through the corner. That bottom side getting slicked off as well as the top. As you see other drivers trying to find some sort of grip or moisture there in the middle of the racetrack now. They come rolling off of corner number 4. Back across the front straightaway. 5 laps to go here for the 358 division. As they roll down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Around here they come. Bachman up there in third. Clay Christopherson down here on the inside in fourth. Mike Brewer here in fifth. As you see, Trevor Guru, he's going to try to get up there in the 5th position as they roll off of the corner here. 4 laps to go. Soon to be 3 as Morano brings it across the line. 3 laps to go here at Kokomo for the 358 division here tonight of the modified series. Down here through the backstretch, 3 laps to go. Christopherson now up here in the 4th with Bachman there in 3rd. Mike Brewer is still trying to hang on there at a 5th as Trevor Guru's down there on the bottom side trying to get something to bite for that bottom. But we said that bottom's getting pretty slicked off, so it'll be interesting to see what type of grip he does get as he's way down there along the bottom side. He did quite get up there and coming off the corner. He can get ahead of Mike Brewer for just a moment. Can he do so coming here off the corner? Morano now down there on the inside of the racetrack gets the win as Sam Bachman finishes there in 2nd. Clay Christopherson 3rd. No, I'm sorry, Dylan Kinsey out there in front. Wait a moment. Let's see here. Anthony Morano getting the win here tonight. Dylan Kinsey there 2nd. Sam Bachman 3rd. Clay Christopherson 4th. Mike Brewer there in 5th. Trevor Guru in 6th. Randy Shreves there 7th. Jeff Barker 8th. Dean Reynolds there 9th. Michael Vitale there in 10th. Randall Dixon finishes tonight in 11th. Brian Moore there in 12th. Kelly Wheeler 13th. Harold Klump finishes 14th. With John Dubai there 15th. Bob DeGood there in 16th. Alex Pomalu finishes tonight in 17th. 18th tonight, that position's going to go to none other than John Morano with Scott Riome there in 19th. Craig Bristol in 20th. Kurt Schatzer in 21st. Joseph Grundy there in 22nd. That is your field of finishers there tonight. As we get over here to the winners, Sam Bachman, our 3rd place finisher. Good evening, Sam. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Can't complain with the podium.
Well, that track seemed like it slicked off a little bit down there on the inside a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it did kind of. It was pretty hooked up for the beginning of the race, and then I noticed Anthony and Dylan were starting to run the top a lot more, so I started running up there with them.
Well, you did whoa, hang on there. You did pretty well there tonight, considering getting third here. You gotta feel pretty good. I mean, especially since Morano, he's one of the top runners here in the 358s in the big blocks, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to beat Anthony. I mean he hits his lines pretty good, but anytime you can, I guess you just take it while you can. But I mean he's pretty hard to beat.
Well, for you, do you got sponsors or shout-outs you want to thank, and are you going to be coming back for the big blocks?
Yeah, I'll be there for the big blocks, and I gotta thank all the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop for all the dig, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, and you for doing the broadcast, and Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, well, it's our pleasure here to be bringing this all to you, and good luck in the big blocks.
Thank you.
That's Sam Bachman, our third place finisher, getting with our second place finisher. Good evening, Dylan. How's it going?
Pretty good, yourself?
I'm doing all right. I see you come up through the field, positive 9 positions to get yourself up here into second place. Maybe 8 positions. It was either 8 or 9 positions. I'm not sure what my scoreboard's saying.
Yeah, I can't remember where I started, but I know I put on a drive for a bit. Just ran the line that I always like to run, and it was there, and the car was fast. Seemed like early on everybody was trying to fight for the middle and bottom, so that kind of helped. So it just left the top open for me.
Yeah, I noticed you were kind of following Morano there with the top line. Did you have any thoughts that you might be able to chase him down, or did you just pretty much, once he was out front, you kind of knew that you were fighting for second at that point?
Yeah, a little bit. It was probably hard to see on the broadcast, but he was. I was running a slightly different line in 1 and 2 than he was. He was entering higher in 1 than I was. I was kind of like running like a real mini slider. I was entering high, but I would enter like a tire width lower than he would, and I would slide up halfway and catch that. There was a patch of grip out of 2 that I would slide up in, and he was entering higher, so he was getting in the wall. So I was like, I'd make up a tiny bit of time there, but then I'd lose it a little bit in 3 and 4. We were both running, again, slightly different lines, even though it probably didn't look like it on the broadcast. But I kept thinking if I hit 3 and 4 a little better, I might have been able to get up closer to him. But Anthony's really good at Kokomo, so, he's one of the best at the top, so he's one of the best at the bottom as well. Like I said, Anthony's just really good here, so it's really hard to beat him. It's hard to find something.
Well, congrats on second place. You got sponsors and shout-outs you want to give here for getting that second place podium in the 358?
Yeah, I just got to thank all the guys at FTM. We have a ton of fun in there. We were all joking around under caution and everything. But got to thank Dean Earl at the Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, DJ for the Rat, you for the broadcast, and everyone at Coast to Coast that makes it happen.
All righty. Well, congrats on second place. And you coming back out in the big block or a 358 for the next division?
Big block for me. I like those better, and I usually run better in a big block.
All righty. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, that was Dylan Kinsey, our second place winner. All right, from Victory Lane, Morano, how's it going?
That's going pretty good. How you doing?
Doing well. I know you had to fight a little bit there to, up there on the top side. I understand from the driver behind you, Dylan, he was saying that you might have been catching the wall a little bit. I don't know if I was catching that at all in the broadcast or not, but kind of take us through how was that top line treating you tonight?
That was pretty good. I like running the top here. I can't run the bottom here to save my life. I've tried to learn it. I just can't figure it out. So I'm sure I dragged the rear bumper on the bottom on the wall there, here and there, but you'll have that, I guess. Just trying to keep myself away from all the trouble that usually happens here. I think that was actually a pretty clean race for Kokomo. There wasn't a lot of caution, so it was pretty good. Everyone did a pretty good job, I think. So, just see if we can repeat here in the big blocks and see what happens.
All right. Well, got sponsors and shout-outs for helping you get into the victory lane here at the 358s.
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Head on Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Extra Insulation, Castaway Flagstone, Shaggy TV, Top Notch Trucking for sponsoring the division. Adam, you for bringing Flieger Farm TV out here to do the broadcast, and I'm running coast to coast.
All right. Well, congrats there for victory, and good luck in the big blocks.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. With that being said, we're going to take a short break and be back here for the big block division in just a few moments.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get right when we talked about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here from the Speedway. Hopefully everybody's ready for some more action as we get set to rock and roll here from Kokomo once again. This time with the big block 358 mix. But we heard the top 3 drivers of our last division say they're bringing out the big blocks. That was Anthony Morano, Dylan Kinsey, and I'm trying to remember who the other one was. Now we get set to roll here tonight. All right, getting ready to go here. Qualifying is commencing for the big block modifieds. Out there you see that number 011 of Randall Dixon as he gets set to roll out here. See if anybody else rolls out or not. Now you see that number 213 of Michael Vitale rolling down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Trying to get something figured out there. I'm sorry, that was 1 and 2 as he now comes through turns 3 and 4. Back out onto the front stretch down here through. Trevor Garou lays down a time. Let's see what that time is. We got him there. 12:4:10 for Anthony Morano as Morano once again out front. Come on down through there. Trying to figure out who we got left on track to John DeBage trying to run and find a spot in that number 21. Matsko back there in 13th with a 12.960. Bachman coming through now. Bachman lays down a time. Brewer outdoes Anthony Morano with a 12.377 for Brewer. Sam Bachman also gets a great run as he gets ahead of Morano by 1,000th or 100, something like that, as he is 12.400. Anthony Morano with a 12.410. All right, getting set for heat number 1. That grid's going to be Bob DeGood out front. Trevor Garou there second. Anthony Morano starting in third, but Mike Brewer in fourth. Alex Pomerleau there in fifth. Dylan Kinsey there sixth. Michael Vitale rolling off in seventh. Chase Matsko in eighth. Scott Riome in ninth. That is your starting grid here for heat number 1. Oh, come on, you. There you go. See 8 car. I don't see Scott Riome out there. Michael Vitale back here. Chase Matsko up there on the outside. Pace car pulls off. Getting set to go here. Around here off the corner, way down there on the inside, Bob DeGood as he comes down there off the corner. Down there starting the race. Anthony Morano down there on getting a great start. Look out, 4 wide down here in the corner number 3. Right there behind Morano. I just see them coming off the corner. What a move there. As they are still trying to battle 4 wide as they are down there in the middle. Now they break it up a little bit with Pomerleau getting out there in the second. Bob DeGood up there in the top side of the racetrack there. You see that 639 of Dylan Kinsey trying to get up there through traffic as they come there off a 2. Back down there on the inside now. Morano up the track a little bit. I see Bob DeGood back here struggling after getting into it with Trevor Garou as they battle it out back down here off the back straightaway through turn 3 and 4. Morano back out front. We got out there. Coming on down through off of turn number 2. Garou and Bob DeGood both pulled it out there into the pits. I see Matsko being led out there trying to get around the 213 of Vitale. That's not an easy feat there as you roll around. Oh, hang on to it there, Matsko. You don't want to be doing that type of stuff. Here as 2 to go. Here they come. Look out, Chase, as they come here through turn 1 and 2. Oh, up there on 2 wheels goes the 397 of Alex Pomerleau. Down there on the bottom side, Alex Brewer getting up in there. And they come rolling here off the corner. Vitale there off of 4. And there you see Vitale bringing it on down in the pit road. Vitale coming, or I'm sorry, Dylan Kinsey coming in there. Results soon to come in for heat number 1. Heat 1 results. Anthony Morano out there in first. Dylan Kinsey second. Michael Vitale there third. You got Alex Pomerleau there fourth. Mike Brewer in fifth. Chase Matsko there in sixth. Trevor Garou there seventh. Bob DeGood there in eighth. And Scott Riome in ninth. All right, on to heat number 2. Dean Reynolds starting out front. Harold Klump there second. Randy Shreves there in third. Sam Bachman fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Randall Dixon rolls off tonight in sixth. Brian Moore in seventh. John Dubai in eighth with Clay Christopherson there in ninth. All right, I'm going to guess that we only have the 2 heats. Come on, you. Do what I want you to. There you go. Well, what the... Thank you. And we have all the drivers up front on the grid. Here at Kokomo they go. Everybody rolled down here off the corner into corner number 3. Gonna lead them around this time. We'll go green next time. 055 of Brian Moore blinking in and out a little bit. Back here toward the back as Harold Clump's up there in toward the front in second. Or into number 2, sorry, not in second. Well, yeah, I am showing him in second. He's up there in that green car on the outside. They come here off the corner. Al Peddle gets hit. They're down here in the corner number 1. Harold Clump getting a good start out there on the outside. Here comes Randy Shreves, though, down on the inside. What a start there by Reynolds, getting that grip down there on the bottom as they come scrolling out of there. 4 as they're 3 wide, almost 4 wide there in areas. As they come through turns 1 and 2. They have 56 of Randy Shreves down there on the bottom side, trying to get around the 2 of Harold Clump, and does so down there on the bottom side. Here comes that 055 as he tries to get up through the field a little bit, up there top. The 51 there of Clay Christopherson down there on the inside, going 4 wide through turn 3 and 4. Off onto that front straightaway. That's the 5. Is that the 513 I'm seeing? Trying to see here. Jeff Barker there in the 513. Yes, that's the 513, that blue and yellow. That's when I was trying to figure out the number on is Christopherson. What a move down there on the bottom side. Once again, moving his way up towards the front. As we got 3 laps to go in heat number 2. Dean Reynolds there in second. Randy Shreves there in 4th now. He falls back a position. Clay Christopherson up to 3rd as they come rolling off. Sam Bachman way up there against that outside wall. But Dean Reynolds trying to chase him down, but Clay Christopherson, he's really getting that thing to turn down there on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Off of 2 they come, 2 laps to go. Clay Christopherson there in second. He's got something working for him down there on the bottom side, way off of 2. Down here into 3 and 4. He's got himself up 7 positions here. In second position comes Clay Christopherson. Sam Bachman is your winner here in heat number 2. Heat 2 results. Sam Bachman, Clay Christopherson. Okay, Sam Bachman is your winner here in heat number 2. Clay Christopherson there second. Dean Reynolds 3rd. Randy Shreves 4th. Jeff Barker there in 5th. Randall Dixon 6th. Brian Moore there in 7th. John Dubai in 8th. Harold Clump there in 9th. That is your heat finish as we are now getting ready. We got just a few moments here. We'll stay with the track here to see how these guys get suited in for the feature of the main event here. Up there along the top side of the racetrack. And I'm really surprised here at Kokomo so far tonight just how well these drivers are doing. Keeping these things straight and not really bringing out the cautions too much. This is a small, tight racetrack. And like I said, I know for me, whenever I've done time trials here in the little midget, I've almost turned this thing into a circle. I'm completely sideways coming down the front straightaway, and it just becomes a big oblong circle the opposite direction for me. Just for fun. I don't know if that's the quickest way around or not, but I know it's fun sliding that midget around the track at Kokomo. As you're watching them slide around the big block 358s here tonight, we'll be sliding the Pro late models around next. So hopefully Shaggy's all set to go for that. We're moving through these pretty quickly tonight. And it looks like he is. He's down there. He's in the wings waiting. Now we roll here off a turn 1 and 2, back down here through 3 and 4. Trevor Grew down here in the corner number 1. Here with 20 seconds to go in warm-up. Dylan Kinsey down there in pit road. Randy Shreves back here in that 56 machine. Getting that track war in places. And we should be in for another great feature here. I must say, I've really enjoyed my time here at Coast to Coast and really enjoy the dirt track racing. It's nothing else like it. All right, getting ready here. Green checkered flag is out for the warm-ups. We'll get set for the feature. Waiting on the grid. Here comes the grid. Anthony Morano out there in front. Sam Bachman second. Dylan Kinsey will be rolling off in third tonight. Clay Christopherson there fourth. Michael Vitale fifth. Dean Reynolds there in sixth. Alex Pomerleau there in 7th, Randy Shreves in 8th, Mike Brewer in 9th, Jeff Barker there 10th, Chase Matsko there in 11th, Randall Dixon rolls off 12th tonight. In 13th, that's going to be Trevor Garou taking that starting position with Brian Moore in 14th, Bob DeGood starting 15th with John Dubai there in 16th, Scott Riome in 17th, and Harold Klump rounds out your field in 18th here tonight for your field of Big Block 58 Showdown. All right, Camerano make it 2 for 2 so far tonight. He's definitely got something figured out here at Kokomo. They're down and away. Everybody getting them in gear. Starting here down in the corner number 1. Out Pomerleau there in 8th. Jeff Barker there 9th. Mike Brewer there 10th. Randall Dixon there in 11th. Come on down here for another time. Getting ready for the start of the feature here tonight. Thank you all for joining in here at Flinker Farm TV and over at Coast to Coast Racing Network. And we're not going to catch the pro late models here at FFTV, so be sure to check it out over there on Coast to Coast Racing Network, as it's going to be switched, as that's where you'll catch the whole show. Here we just catch, at Flinker Farm TV, we catch just the first 2 shows, and then we go and go live, or we go and kind of shut down and let Shaggy take over for the pro late model. And we come down here in the corner number 1. Wow, what a move we got going down there. Hang on to it there, Barker. Or I'm sorry, no, that's not Barker, that's Brewer. Down here on the inside. Really trying to get something to happen as they work on down through here. Hang on to it as they go around. That's Vitale going around there in corner number 1 and 2. Along with trying to see who that is. Caution does not come out. They're back straight again. Now, Vitale looks like he might have an issue as he tries to get back along the way. Here comes Morano up there on the outside. Bachman there in 2nd for the moment as Dylan Kinsey's down there in 4th. Sam Bachman now up there in the 2nd. Clay Christopherson, he tried to battle along that bottom side of the racetrack. Vitale kind of in the way at the moment up there towards the front as they roll down here. 25 laps to go. Everybody's back straight again. Rolling down here through turns 1 and 2, you see Brewer down there on the bottom side. Beneath, I thought I saw a Barker, but yeah, I did. I see it, Jeff Barker in the 513. As they're all collected up there at the top, caution now comes out. as the 639 of Dylan Kinsey is around. So here we see it coming here out of corner number 2. That 639 getting real loose. And, oh man, gets tagged from behind by Reynolds, and then it just stacks that top line up. All right, back under caution here. First caution of the 358 Big Block Showdown. And as I've said before, I'm unsure because you can't just look at the car and tell. I can't tell who's in Big Block and who's in 358. I just know what Murano's running. I know what, I should know a couple others too. I know the top three finishers of last race in the 358 division, they are running Big Block. So that includes Murano. I want to say Bachman's one of them, and I forget who the third driver is. I want to say Dylan Kinsey. They're all running Big Block to come out here. Rolling down there on the bottom side is that 51 of Clay Christopherson. As up there along that outside wall is the Big Block of Anthony Murano. Rolling down Drew off of turn number 2 now, back out onto that backstretch. Everybody's working here together. Lap number 22 laps to go. Sorry, with they coming off the corner of 4. Up there on that high side, Chase Masco trying to make some moves. He gets a little bit of bump there from the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Ends up getting shuffled back a little bit. As now he battles back up there along that top edge once again into the outside wall, coming there off of 4 rather. Down here into corner number 1, up there along the outside wall, once again into it. Chase, that's not where you want to be. Or you want to be up there, but you don't want to be in the wall. That will just give you problems there out front as Clay Christopherson and Anthony Murano trying to battle it around. And see Christopherson end up getting a little loose down there on the bottom side. Unsure what happened there. But that just hands more momentum over to Murano. Murano's way up there against that wall like Chase is trying to run. Because unfortunately Chase is getting into the wall instead and not really running that line quite like he needs to. As you see now a couple other drivers trying to copy that outside line. Brewer now jumping down there to the inside, trying to get around Christopherson as they roll down the backstretch. Hey, jump up there to the high line. We've got others down there along the low line here coming out of 4. 4 wide back here towards the back. With Chase Masco up there towards the outside lane. Got Randall Dixon back here in the 16th position. And roll here off the corner, back around onto that front straightaway. Everybody just trying to make it through. Now, I'll be honest, I'm surprised there isn't more cautions. The way these drivers are running is phenomenal. So they come here off the corner, back out here onto the back stretch, or onto the front stretch rather, out of 4. Back down into corner number 1, 14 laps to go. These laps quickly here. And we're down to 13 to go. Now 12 to go as they come here out of corner number 4. Oh, sorry, 13 to go. Murano way out front. He's got a gap of about 3 seconds over top of these guys fighting for a second behind him. Christopherson and Brewer. Brewer's up there on the top side. Christopherson down there on the inside. As Christopherson's just trying to work something out. And it's just, they're all losing ground to the leader of Anthony Murano. Well, no, scratch out. It looks like Brewer might be... No, he lost ground. Down here through off of 4, 10 to go. As Murano comes across the line, there you see Brewer there in 2nd. Clay Christopherson there 3rd. As Dean Reynolds there in 4th. At 75 of Trevor Guru. He's back here, down there on the bottom side. He's trying to run a little bit down there as well. I see them all coming there through off the corner. Where is Murano at? Murano sneaking up on the back of the pack now. They come down through turns 1 and 2. Michael Vitelli already a lap down from his little incident earlier. Randall Dixon back there towards the back. Chase Masco just trying to stay ahead of Murano, but not going to be able to do it. He's going to have to probably give way, which he does. Oh! That is not what Murano wanted to see coming there into corner number 4. Draw Dubai facing him. up there on the top edge of the speedway. We'll see what happened to John Dubai in that number 21. Coming down that backstretch. Coming down here. Gets up in that outside. Oh, man. And just gets up around. Dean Reynolds comes there, connects him. Or no, I'm sorry. That's Randall Dixon coming in and connected with him. And then Morano just heads up there, trying to stay off of him. Second caution, we got 5 laps to go in this main event for the 358 Big Block Division. All right, single power restart. Coming there off the corner. Morano gets on the gas and down across the front. Here it goes, starting for the last 6 laps. Down here off of turn number 1, everybody makes it through turn 1. Up there on the top side, Chase Matsko's trying to get around some lap traffic. And they roll here out of 4. Anthony Morano out front. Mike Brewer there second. Clay Christopherson back there third. Reynolds there in fourth. Sam Bachman back there in fifth as he's trying to gain something. As you see them rolling here off of the corner. 4 laps to go. They now come down here into corner number 1 once again. Side by side back there for about the 7th and 8th position. Or I'm sorry, no, 6th and 7th position. That's between Trevor Giroux and Brian Moore. But Brian Moore ends up falling backwards a little bit. Here you see them side by side back there with Randall Dixon and Alex Pomerleau. John Dubai is trying to gain some positions up here. As Anthony Morano still out front. Mike Brewer there in second. Clay Christopherson there third. Look out, here comes Sam Bachman rolling down there on the bottom side. He's got side by side now with Trevor Giroux as he's up there on the top side. A lot of battle for fifth there as Trevor Giroux now takes over 5th position from Sam Bachman. Randy Shreves now loses the spot possibly to the 55 of Brian Moore. They roll there off of 2. Final time off of 4. Morano gets the win. Brewer there second. Christopherson third. Reynolds there fourth. Trevor Giroux fifth. Bachman there in 6th. We'll see how the rest of the field ends up coming in here as the results come in. Anthony Morano will be your winner here tonight. Mike Brewer there in second. Clay Christopherson third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Trevor Giroux there fifth. Sam Bachman 6th. Brian Moore there in 7th. Randy Shreves there 8th. Jeff Barker there 9th. Harold Klump in 10th. Bob DeGood there in 11th. Randall Dixon 12th. Alex Pomerleau there in 13th. John Dubai there 14th. Chase Matsko in 15th. Michael Vitale there 16th. With Dylan Kinsey there 17th. 18th going to Scott Rio. All right, congrats to all the winners here so far. We'll get with our winners here. I don't see Christopherson anywhere. We'll get with second place, Mike Brewer. Good evening, Mike. How's it going? Well, you got second place here in the big block, 358s. Did you run the big block?
Yeah, yep.
So I'm finding out if given the chance, the drivers are going to run that big block.
What's that?
I said I'm noticing that most drivers run the big block when given the chance.
Yeah, well, sometimes if it's a short track, you'll see a lot more guys running a 358. But these bigger tracks, most of the time, everybody's going to run a big block.
Let's see here. I am thinking Kokomo has a short track.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna run the bottom, it's a long ways around the top for a small block, so big block you can carry a lot more speed off the top. Bottom's a lot more tricky, being slick and stuff.
All right. Well, congrats on second place. Who's your sponsor and the shout out you want to give here for helping you get into that position?
You for broadcasting coast to coast. Everybody over at Auto Motorsports, Expert Installation, Dino over there at Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, and everybody out there watching.
All righty. Well, congrats there. Are you running the Pro Late models at all?
Yeah, I think we're going to give it a shot.
All righty. Well, good luck. We'll see you there.
Thank you.
That was our second place driver there, Mike Brewer, finishing out second tonight. Anthony Morano, you've got a 2 for 2 so far. You there, Morano?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, tonight's been a pretty good night so far.
So far, yeah, you've got the win in the first two here tonight. You're running the Pro Late models, going to try to make it 3 for 3?
That's the game plan. We're going to try.
I understand from other drivers you might have this track's number a little bit.
Yeah, I got a real good run in this track a few years back with a guy in a different league. He taught me how to run this track. So I'm really good here. So I highly doubt he's going to watch it. Grant West actually taught me how to run this track. So this one's definitely one show now how he was able to teach me to do it.
All righty. Well, you had a great run there. Sponsors and shout-outs here for getting that big block into victory lane.
I got like my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, Casper Flagstone, Shaggy TV. Adam, you're coming out here and doing the broadcast for us, and everyone at Coast to Coast.
All righty. Well, we'll see you on track here in the Pro Late models.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
All righty. Well, that's Anthony Morano. Without farther ado, good evening, Shaggy. Tonight's show is just moving right along.
Yeah, man. I barely got home in time from golf to be able to do this thing. I'm pushing it close tonight there in a hurry.
Well, yeah, it's been great fun so far. I mean, we've really seen a lot of great action, and surprisingly for Kokomo, I'm used to a lot more cautions than what we've seen.
Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. You know, Kokomo can widen up. You get the good 2 grooves, and these guys, very talented, can take advantage of that, and that's probably what you saw. Definitely a treat to watch those guys whip around this place 3, sometimes 4 wide. It's a neat show.
Oh, yeah, they were definitely whipping it 3 to 4, and it definitely was been fun to watch. But when you get guys that know what they're doing and know how to stay off of one another, it puts on some great racing action, and we've seen that all season long so far.
Yeah, not a lot of cars here in the late models, but looking forward to it. It should be a good show. I mean, even if there's only 6, 7 guys, it's going to be a wide racetrack.
Well, that just means there's less for me to hit, right?
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Less for me to hit.
Get it done.
Well, let's hope I don't hit nothing as we get ready for the Pro Late models. Should be a great show.
Yeah, should be a good one. We'll be waiting for you to get in here. Definitely going to be a green track. Nobody was in here warming up. I've been in here for a while, so.
Alrighty, well,
get in here and beat it up a little bit. Get some speed out here.
Yeah, we need somebody to put some slickness on that track. That's the only way I can compete.
No, I feel you. That's what I'm saying. Got to get out here and play a little bit. Go beat this thing down.
I can't. I don't have the tacky track traction at all. I do. I'm a lot more competitive on a slicker track.
Yeah, it just comes a lot more about throttle control. Definitely more my style when it starts the glass over a little bit.
So, alrighty, well, let's get ready for this, shall we?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are. Got everything typed and ready to go.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead.
outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here with part 3 of Thursday Night Thunder. We have the Pro Late Models here at the Kokomo Speedway, brought to you by none other than Shaggy TV. Appreciate all the support I've been getting. League offers, that means a lot to me, and well, I appreciate people that, like me going out there and spreading the word, sharing the broadcasts. It definitely helps me kind of, live the dream here, be able to broadcast these races. And Mike Brewer right now at the top of the charts here in warm-ups in the 390 as he works to the bottom. Completes the pass on, I believe, that may have actually been, Adam Flieger. They're in the 38 machine. He's been the man on the call here so far tonight, as I kind of mentioned. I watched a little bit of that last one. Sometimes I like racing the big blocks. But, man, they went by quick tonight. The boys in a hurry. Not a lot of cars here either. Only 8 on the card so far. 6 have put in a time. It's not too sure here what we're gonna get out of the gang. I do know, well, I started a golf league, no excuses, but you can hear this camera is a little louder than the other because it's a little crisper. I have to turn that down, and that's gonna bug me all night. Still watching Adam Flieger run around. Let's go see what John Tobias is doing. We got Blackjack in the 21. Not too sure either how early. Let's take a look here. So 8:30 actually is the earliest this will roll if you've ever wanted or wondered. Oh, we got Ron out there. What's going on, Ron? See Brewer at the top right now. But can't advance this till 10:30, so we still have a little bit. Couple more minutes to mess around, play around. Maybe figure out a line that you and only you will be able to use in qualifying. This is when you just test those boundaries a little bit. You maybe run a couple laps. You go see what the other guys out at the racetrack are running. And last time by. So these are what they're currently running. Randy Shreves just ran that 12.31. As we see it change over, pretty good at the 21. He's running the 12.7 last time by. See Randy making up a lot of ground here. Can he go for the move? Takes a peek. Blackjack gets a little loose. Made it look easy as Randy Shreves. Right now we got Chase Matsko still out there running some laps, so he's in the 12.6s. He's playing around on the bottom. Let's see what it is this time. 2.7, almost identical there. I believe a 2.6 before, 2.7 there. So looking good. Let's do something here real quick. Bring up just for, I know they say curiosity killed the cat. Okay, so Bachman and Christopherson, notice they're still white. That's what I was looking for there. To make sure they were still in the session. They are. So got 8 cars. Just not going out there. Not going to put a time in here. Gonna try to catch everyone by surprise. Tobias has put in 54 laps. Flieger's put in 36. Matsko's on lap 42 here, and Randy Shreves has done 25. So guys, definitely trying to put that wear and tear in on the racetrack. I'd mentioned, I believe Tobias did 54 laps. Brewer, he had done 25, and Giroux almost did 30 laps. So definitely, guys, kind of see the writing on the wall. Not going to get a lot of cars here this evening, so you got to try to, manipulate the racetrack to where you can complete some passes later on, and that means you got to put your head down and go to work a little bit right now. We're going to go trackside here. Just hang out for about a minute, and, well, they're going to get ready for qualifying, but I'm going to try to change some things here on the PC, but don't be around. Stick around. Got a lot of good racing here coming up at Kokomo. Yeah, should be getting ready to roll here. So let's go to that starter stand. Wait for that checkered flag to fly. And warm-ups is the 007 of Sam Bachman. Only man out on the racetrack right now. All alone. Just flirting a little bit with the inside there, that 007. Now he's going to get some company. Randy Shreves coming out to join the party. I'll tell you what, Ron. I can't. Hang on, I gotta scroll the screen over. They changed my. Yeah, I figured he said put the clubs down. I couldn't read that far over, but yeah, my partner is probably really, really glad or would be really happy if I put the clubs down, because when I tell you, in a 9-hole scramble match today for league, I think this is counting putts. This is counting putts now. We maybe use, man, I think 5 might be being generous. I want to be safe and say 4 of my shots. 2 of them were on hole 17. My partner put a drive in the woods. I sliced one over that patch of woods because when I get a hold of it, I can crank it. But, man, I just kept popping the ball today. But I finally got a hold of that one, and it did slice, but it went over the trees, and we had a nice play at the green because it was a par 5. So It ended up 5-ironing in from there. We took both those shots, and then, well, that was pretty much all she wrote for me. I didn't hit the green once on a par 3 today. It was one of those days for sure. I need to get my freaking butt to the range a little bit, get some practice in, but it's 8:32. I'm all about waiting a little bit here, boys, but it does, we're supposed to roll this thing at 8:30. So, not hang around too long. We'll see what happens here. Oh, I think I realized. Okay, and I'm not mad at him. He probably had something going on. So we just got another guy. We just got Anthony Morano in here. There we go. He's the admin. That is what it is. He was probably busy. He's got all sorts of stuff going on. I'm the dummy up here who doesn't know how to put 2 and 2 together. Apparently, so that's on me. Definitely not Anthony. Sometimes you got stuff you got to do. That's the way it goes. Let's see who pulls out on the racetrack here first for qualifying. I think we got Garrix in the 075. Let's see what Trevor can do. He's going to come across the start-finish line here. And let's see what he's got. $75T looking pretty good through 1 and 2. A little better through 3 and 4. Hooks up very nice. What's the time going to look like? A 12:56. Man, not going to be what he wants. Is your broadcaster, Adam Flieger. Look at that time. A 12:07. He's at the top of the charts. Hooking up is the 38 machine, but only for a short time is putt-putt. Clay Christopherson. He gets to the top with a sub 12-second lap, 11.99 putt-putt. Putting in the time here at the Kokomo Speedway. Great lap for Clay Christopherson as Anthony Morano comes around that second and final time. Going to put it P5. Mike Brewer qualifies 7th after Samuel Bachman comes around. And another guy, sub 12 seconds, 11.95. Oh, I need to change it to best time. There we go. I was wondering why Clay's changed. Shame on me. That's why, because he was slower the second time around. But Bachman, look at that, 11.95. 2 guys, sub 12 seconds. And our man, Adam Flieger, your broadcaster for the modifieds, putting in a big time there. P3 for the driver of the 38. Have to see how it looks in heat race number 1. Should have 2 heat races, I would imagine. And we will. Let's bring up that starting grid here for heat race number 1. Oh, there we go. It refreshes. Huh. Running out the field, the 21 of Blackjack John Tobias. Row 2 to the outside, the 007 of Sam Bachman to the inside, the 38 of Adam Flieger. Row number 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. And starting on the pole, the 390 of Mike Brewer. So I find where my mouse has gone. I will. There we go. It disappeared on one of those screens. Might as well have not came back too with the way it's just gonna mess up that overlay. Well, never mind. I refreshed it on your guys' screen. It looked fine for you, so I did that for absolutely nothing. It's just mine. Got all jazzed up this time. As we roll around here at the Kokomo Speedway, that Steve King Foundation Pace Truck's going to do About another half lap here. He'll pull off coming out of 2, and that 075, or excuse me, that 390 of Mike Brewer on the inside here is going to lead us to the green flag here for the Coast to Coast Pro Late Models. Who is going to win heat race number 1? Who's going to start on the pole? Let's find out as we come out of 3 and 4. Put the pedal down. 8 laps to play at the Kokomo Speedway. Good jump there for the 390 of Mike Brewer. Setting the pace right away while Trevor Giroux has got 2 partners on the inside. Sam Bachman, Adam Flieger. Adam Flieger doing his best here to try to mark his territory down there. Got to swing it wide coming off of 2. He does. Able to hold it firm. But off of 4 is where you need that drive. He floats up. Going to open the door. Sam Bachman tries to take a peek, but he tightens up. All this going off behind the 390 of Mike Brewer, who leads the way with 5 to play. Flieger started 3rd, running 3rd. Well, really everyone running where they started here at Kokomo, showing it's kind of hard right now, you know, to get around that guy. Not going to be easy. And Mike Brewer putting it down out front as he comes out of 4 across the line. 3 laps to go. Sam Bachman, really the closest guy to even being able to think about doing a move here. He's on the inside of Flieger, so close to those inside tractor tires. He's really flirting with it there. Works it to the bottom through 1 and 2. Not giving up. Gonna try to swing it there, but Flieger pitches him down. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Mike Brewer off at 2 for the final time into 3 and 4. And he's gonna see that checkered flag wave as he wins heat race number 1. Trevor Giroux 2nd. Bachman beats Flieger. There, that final lap for 3rd. Adam 4th, and Blackjack coming home 5th. Man, my apologies. My out of shape, you know what? Man, I'm starting to get a cramp in my side. Must not have drank enough water before I went out there and played golf. That's what I get here. So if you hear me mute up for a little bit, it's because I'm screaming for the high heavens. And I got a cramp in between my rib cage on my right side. It's my world famous fat people out of shape spot to get a cramp. Wouldn't be a good round of golf if I didn't come home cramping here at the end of the night. Chase Matsko set to lead the way. Did I even do the starting lineup? I don't think I did because I was cramping too bad. No, row 2. Putt to the outside in the 051 to the inside the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside. The Ant-Man in the 32, Anthony Morano. And starting on the pole, the 26 of Chase Matsko. Yeah, my apologies for that. I kind of got a little preoccupied trying to bend, stretch that thing out. It's gone for now. We'll see if it stays that way. I'm not going to hold my breath. But as the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We've got 8 laps to play in the clay at Kokomo Speedway. Heat race number 2 is underway. Matsko trying to find some grip down there in the cellar. But here comes Morano upstairs. And looking in the attic, 1 lane higher. Putt. Clay Christopherson up there through 3 and 4. Making Morano go up there maybe a little higher than he wants, but it's going to pay off here. Through 1 and 2, good drive off. New leader at the line. Give it to Anthony Morano. Can Clay Christopherson follow in the footsteps there of his teammate? Work to the outside, go around. Of course, that's what Putt does best, but no. Look at the run back there for Matsko. Almost had it at the line. Chase really moving and grooving down there through 3 and 4 the last time. What can he do this time? Can't find it. Can't find it again. It was maybe a one-time only a day pass. There for the 26 at Chase Matsko. Going to try it. Can't give up yet, but As we come out of 3 and 4, 3 laps to go, he finds it one more time. And Matsko, if he could be a little more consistent down there, he's got some pace. Let's see. Oh, he just gooses it up a little too much. And there you see Anthony reappear, but Matsko, if he could figure it out, be consistent, he's looking good. But we got the white flag ready to fly. Anthony Morano has it at the line. Gives second to Putt Putt. What's the battle for P2 going to look like? But Anthony Morano, final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, and he wins heat race number 2, followed by Clay, Chase, and Randy. Yeah, Ron, we're having pretty good weather, actually. We're not going to go to break here for warm-ups like I normally do. This has been a quick show, only 2 heats. Still live. I sponsor it. So, yeah, dude, beautiful weather. I think today when I went golfing, mid-60s. Tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 70s, close to 80s. And, should be a good good weekend for sprint car racing. I'm gonna try to maybe go to Lincoln Speedway this Saturday. Now that it's starting to warm up, I haven't been to a dirt race in a couple months. Need to get my fix. Man. Yep, only about a little over a minute here before we roll in. I was trying to look at some of the sprint car schedules around the country. See what's going on racing-wise this weekend. Don't want to sound like a dummy. I know Knoxville and all that stuff's coming up. I don't think it's obviously this early. Oh, no way, Ron. I didn't know you've been to Gettysburg, man. If you guys ever come up here, you gotta let me know, man. We'll go out to eat or something. Obviously, I know you guys want to be on vacation and do whatever, but it'd be cool to meet all you guys. I'll have to drag Mike up here. And, man, if you guys ever do want to make the trip and you like dirt racing, I'm telling you, you come in June, Pennsylvania PA Dirt Weeks. Oh, my gosh, it is on fire up here. Then we get 2 nights at Lincoln. You get 2 nights at Williams Grove. You got Hagerstown Speedway, which is in Maryland. It's kind of a baby Williams Grove, to be honest with you. Not that great of racing there, I don't think. It's definitely a wannabe Williams Grove. But, I mean, you know, it's good. You got Baps, then you got Port Royal, obviously. You got Sealands. I don't know if Sealands Grove is going to be on there or not. It is definitely, I mean, smaller town up here for sure, but it's got plenty to do around here if you're willing to, you know, go for a little bit of a drive. It ain't gonna kill you. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Starting lineup. Only 9 cars. Let's take a look. John Tobias rounds out the field in the 21. He's on the inside of row 5. Row 4 to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. To the inside, the 38 of Adam Flieger. Row 3 to the outside, the 26 of Chase Matsko. To the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 2 to the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt. Clay Christopherson. To the inside, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Row 1 for your A main Pro Late Model feature here at the Kokomo Speedway presented by Shaggy TV. To the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, and starting on the pole, the 390 of Mike Brewer. See here, I meant to, I mean, obviously, you know, I like hanging out, like talking, but I did forget I wanted to do something in that warm-up, so yes, I should have went to commercial. You need to zoom this out a little bit. Got to look at the racing on the backstretch. A little better than it has been. Haven't been able to see it that well. Don't really like our camera angles here, but final time through 3 and 4. That green flag is high, and boy, is she ready to fly. We've got 30 laps to play at the Kokomo Speedway. Your Pro Late Model feature is underway. I think I said Kokomo by accident. And that 75, you might have to put on the cloak, try to hide, go downstairs, find a way under that teammate hands. And the 390, Mike Brewer doing a good job of running that basement. Likes the inside, finding a lot of speed for the time being. And Anthony, he may like that. You know, he just can roll that top. It's maybe not the quickest now, but I'm telling you, it's going to be. I don't know what you guys saw in the small blocks and the big blocks. But man, this is it's a top dominant track ever since I used to race here. But the caution flag waves. Chase Matsko goes around, I believe, in 3 and 4. Blake Christopherson may have gotten a little piece of this. Let's see. Where Clay actually may have been the piece that started it. He's up ahead of Chase. So, yeah, he's got to get on the binders. Doesn't want to get into the back of his teammate who had to check up. And then Chase can't react quick enough. Gets into the back of him. Loops around. First caution of the evening here for the Pro Late Model. And obviously, you know, is what it is. But people know, you know, Ron, you may be able to. I may have a medicinal hobby that I like to do on the battlefields. Literally, I went golfing today. Well, I mean, you know, you've been to Gettysburg. The whole place is battlefield. But on the way home from the golf course, I literally drive through Devil's Den. That's kind of the shortcut way to my house because I don't live right in Gettysburg. I'm on the outskirts. But yeah, I cruise the battlefields all the time, partaking in my certain hobby that I like. Jack Hit and Terry Landis may share as well. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. Mike Brewer, ooh, he made Anthony maybe go a little early there, caught him napping. Went after he got on the brakes, and that allows the 75 to go right back to war there with his teammate in the 32. And that's what Mike Brewer needs. You don't want to let Anthony wind up the box up top. You know, you need him to get poked out a little bit. Have a little competition on that inside. Make him start guessing because Anthony's got the top rolling. Big question's going to be what kind of run can he get off at 2? If he starts closing in, yeah, see, he's really screaming. This is it. Top shelf is coming. And there's only a matter of time. Yeah, Mike, he's got to get up there now. Mike has got to get up there now, and he's not going to. I tried to warn him. I did. I swear you heard me. Mike stuck in the middle now. The jam and the sandwich. He's got to send it. He's got to climb that hill. I know he doesn't want to do it because that's his teammate up there, but you want to bring home that checkered flag. That's the move right now. He's in no man's land. Trevor might be able to get a 2-for-1 if he gets aggressive and tries it. He's, you know, about that point he's got to go because Anthony Morano is going to have it at the line this time. He does. And Anthony, he's going to walk away with this thing if the boys don't keep him in check. And Anthony Morano, 19 to go, leads the way. But boy, the 75 putting up a fight on the bottom. And Mike Brewer, now that he's maybe seen the light here, he says, maybe I need to go up half a lane higher even. He's got some speed back in that 390. Mike Brewer, just a little too late. That's why I tell these drivers, you know, you need to have me on the radio live. Listen to the live feed. I'll disguisingly tell you where you need to go. And right now, Anthony, he's got to go to the bottom. Going to have to find a way around that lap car here of Chase Matsko because his teammate's right there. One mistake. Oh, Anthony going to slide it in here. Big slide job, Mike Brewer. He's got to find a way around now. Doesn't want to lose that spot to Trevor Giroux, but it may not matter. Trevor in that 075 flying on the bottom of the 007. Sam Bachman trying to come up, make his move, cut through the field as Anthony Morano throws the slide job on Blackjack and John Tobias. You know, you put up that little bit of fight on the leaders because you don't want to go the lap down, but when you do go a lap down, you let the guys behind go right on by, and that hurts Anthony. He's trying here. Needs a big run off this top shelf. That's exactly what he gets. And right now, Trevor, he's just throwing punches, but he's running out of stamina down there. It's just a losing battle. You see yourself gain so much on the entry of the corner, but center off, you're just stuck in quicksand. All that momentum's gone while Anthony's just riding the roller coaster up top. Letting it eat here. 10 laps to go this time by Randy Shrees and Clay Christopherson having a good battle in their hands. Putt-putt on the bottom. Randy in the middle. Randy doesn't want to give him too much room here. Trying to make Clay work it. It's Clay's at the line. What does the 51 do? Does he slide up? No, he's going to stay down there. That allows the 56 to come back with a big run. Randy Shrees looking to get it back at the line. He does. And this is a good battle, all for the 5th position here at the Kokomo Speedway. While Anthony Morano out front, single file, Trevor Giroux trying to reel him in, but the Philly Flyer, he's running out of options, and most of all, he's running out of time. 6 laps to go. Mullins Race Engines. Well, you might want to put a Chevrolet in that. I don't know what Mullins is, but it just looks like you need a little more power, Trevor. I mean, we're inching closer, but we had a Chevy power in that thing. Oh, man, the Scott would be the limit. Anthony Morano, though, through 1 and 2, you see him straighten up a little bit. He gets in that outside wall. That allows Trevor to get a little closer. 3 laps to go here at the Kokomo Speedway. What do we do here? Can Trevor make a big swing here? Remember, he's new, that FTM sticker. He had to earn that thing. He's the new guy on the block. You can't do anything too hellacious here when you're the new guy on campus, but he's got to try to make that statement here. When the white flag gonna fly this time. 1 lap to go. Trevor looking down low here. Sam Bachman inching closer, but not enough time. Final time through 3 and 4. Anthony Morano gets it done at the Kokomo Speedway. Trevor Giroux second. Bachman rounds out the podium. Brewer and Christopherson for an all FTM top 5. 5 FTM drivers, 5 in the top 5. Congratulations. Good race there for the teammates. Something they should definitely be proud of. I believe only the 1 caution. 2 very impressive drive out of the guys here tonight. Well, let's see if we can get Mr. Excitement up here. Sam Bachman, he's always, this guy's mouth is always full of words. He's always got something to say. Coming home in 3rd place. Sam Bachman, how we feeling, brother? You were quick. You reeled those guys in at the end. Maybe just needed a caution or 2 there with about 10 to go and could have flirted with the win, but it looked like you had some speed tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, Anthony and Trevor, they were pretty quick, but I think probably like those last 10 laps, I was starting to reel them in pretty good. I was kind of just praying for a caution for in those last 10 laps, but they ran a good race and it was just hard to catch them.
Yeah, do you think, maybe you had a little more tire left in them? Did we go a little too easy in the beginning, or do you think it was just, battle of track position? You just started back there. Where'd you start? Fifth? I mean, not easy to pass here. You were stuck on the bottom. Or what was the trick?
I just found something in the middle of 3 and 4, like the middle bottom or whatever in 3 and 4, and it started working real well, and it was working pretty good with 1 and 2 over on the high side too. So I just kind of stick to that once I got off the bottom, and then that's when I kind of started reeling them in.
Well, Sam, I was busy hitting double bogeys tonight, but how'd we do in the small block and the big block, man? How'd they go for you?
I think I got third in the small block, and then I think I got like fifth or seventh in the big block. Can't
Well, hey,
remember.
to hell with that one, man. 2 podiums. That's all we want to remember about tonight. That's a pretty good night. So congratulations, Sam. Oh yeah, man. I almost forgot this too. I don't know if you guys even noticed because you normally do the team pictures. But you had an FTM top 5, man. 5 drivers. Did you guys even know that? That's a pretty good run there for the team.
I did not notice that, but I know on the big blocks, I know we had a top 6 too. So that was pretty sweet to get all of us guys up there and up front.
Also, see, this is old news. I got to pay more attention. But congratulations here, Sam, on the big P3, man. You got anybody you want to thank before we kick you out of here, brother?
Yeah, the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, working hard on all the dig for us. Dean over at Super Dare Car Series, Expert Installation, Shaggy, you for doing the broadcast, and Coast to Coast.
Well, hey, man, hell of a run. Can't wait to talk to you again. Hopefully it's Sunday, Sam.
Thank you.
Sam Bachman bringing home P3. Let's bring up his new teammate here in the 075. Man, well, not. How long are you considered new, Trevor? That's a good question. That's going to be the first question. How long can I call you the new teammate? Is there, kind of like, is it a month?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know how long you consider new at a job. I would say like a year. Like, hey, it's the new guy.
Or,
I mean, I've been.
yeah, we'll get someone else to join, and then you're not that the new guy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long Mike's been here, but it's definitely been a few months. I don't think they consider him the new guy no more. So, well, I guess that'd be me. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe ask the big boss there. He's coming up.
Yeah, that's what that's kind of what I was getting at. Maybe you got to beat that big boss a couple times. It seemed like you were quick, dude. You were doing it down there on the bottom, which obviously at that point in the race, so you could lie to me and say it was, but it wasn't the fastest line. You were still making it work anyway. I mean, was it kind of doing what you had to do? That was the only lane that was open. I mean, were you thinking about throwing the slide job there? Not towards the end, but while you guys were racing 3 wide, because dude, when you go back and look at it, I know they're your teammates, but that's probably your best bet there when you were 3 wide going into 1 if you just sent that sucker.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of was. I just, I didn't really have an opportunity. I was so dialed. Like, I was looking to my right a couple times, and every time I looked, we were 3 wide. So I was like, okay, maybe I can get a 2 for here. And then, I'd get such a good run on the bottom. I was like, man, I kind of want to keep it down here. And then the opportunity came to move up, and I did. And, felt good up top. It got pretty thin there in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 was just crap all night, and even in the 358s on the top. So decided to run middle there, and Anthony, I don't think Anthony was really running away from me too much.
No,
honestly,
not at all. I'll say it for you. He wasn't. I'll say it for you.
I kind of stayed with him. I don't think he ran away, so I mean that's nice. I had a fast car, but honestly, when the white flag came out and I was running like middle, I was like, what the hell? I wasn't paying attention to what laps were left, because if I knew we were coming up on like 2, 3, 4 to go, I would have stayed up top and tried to throw something. But I mean, I didn't. I thought we had a good chunk of the race left, so I was gonna try in the middle and see if I can get closer. But yeah, I mean, it's tough on what you want to do to your teammates, right? It's even Anthony there with a couple laps left. He asked me, are you gonna do it? And I said, I'm thinking about it. I still chasing the first win of the season, still chasing first win with FTM, so I'm getting a little desperate here.
Yeah, and for Christ's sakes, you know, I mean, the man's got a bounty out for him in the Rebels. He's been winning enough this season. You know, you gotta make him earn it at this point. He's collecting all the trophies. You guys are just sitting there watching.
Yeah, I think he maybe should take a week or two off here, you know, give the car a break or something. I don't know what that guy's got going on, but now I'm on the team, he needs to start, you know, giving me those secrets.
Yeah, did we get the dude? Because the one day I was bored, I was so bored doing an FTM race. You may have been there. It was in their break, and I finally went to the griphack.com. That is real, okay? Do you have a code to that yet? Are you allowed in the griphack.com?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, I actually have no idea. I'd have to talk to the guys and see.
Yeah, there you go. See, that may be the secret, because at griphack.com, you're more than welcome. Everybody out there listening, you go to it. You know, it's some kind of Dropbox folder. They made a folder. I guess Brewer was explaining to me with all the team set up, so maybe that's the secret. But I guess this is fixed, so never mind.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm trying to race a little more and get into some other stuff, and you know, doing pretty good in this other league, leading points and stuff. So I mean, I kind of just, you know, you come into a team like this, and you know, I thought I was an above average driver, but you come to a team like this, and it's like, okay, yeah, I've got some learning to do. I mean, it's and that's why I'm here, right? Like these guys, I've known these guys for a while, and you know, I want to learn off these guys and you know, build more friendships and stuff. So yeah, just got to clean up a few things going into next week, and keep chasing that first win, man.
Well, hey, man, that's what it's all about. You look good tonight, bringing home a good P2 team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hell of a run tonight, guys. Congratulations on that P2, Trevor. Who you want to thank, man?
Yeah, just first all the guys at FTM here. You know, it's been a pleasure racing with these guys. It's a good group, and like I said, you know, looking forward to learning, especially off, you know, guys like Anthony. You know, it's just fast and everything. He's trying to get me to run a little bit of sprint car stuff, but I don't know, maybe one day. But either way, I think all those guys.
Hang on, Trevor. What did I just read in the team Discord? Anthony's getting a new job. He may not even be able to run Mondays anymore. What's that? Does he mention that to you guys?
Yeah. He's got a job coming up.
He knows that iRacing's more important, right? You guys have told him that?
I haven't told him, but you know, he
I'll tell
probably
him when he
thinks
gets up
that
here.
way.
I'll make sure. I'll hammer it through.
I love it. But,
that's crazy. He's gonna complain to you. That's why I had to interrupt you. You're saying he's complaining to you to run more sprint cars, and then here he is. Look at him.
Yeah, I'll give it to the guy. He's trying to, you know, that's one of the reasons why I came here, you know, to race more, and he's trying to get me to race more, so I respect it. But yeah, just, you know, thank all those guys and everyone who makes this stuff possible. Everyone who sponsors the team. We got quite a few. I gotta pull up my little cheat sheet here. We got a lot on the team here. Swan Speed Shop, Expert Installations, Dean with the Super Dirt Car Series, Castleberry Flagstone, Vertex Graphics with this new wrap coming at me today. Beautiful car. I love this car. I'm gonna run it for a while, I think. Obviously you, Shaggy. I'm pretty sure you sponsor these, don't you? So really appreciate that. And you got the logo on my car, so thank you for letting me run your logo. It's awesome to have you on there. I'm missing a few, I think, but just everyone on this car and everyone behind the scenes doing all this stuff, we appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, and you'll have to thank griphack.com whenever they let you in there. That's the other one. That's the other team one. I'm so used to hearing Anthony. You'll hear it in a little bit, but hey, congratulations, Trevor. Good run, man. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother. Or wait.
Thanks, Shaggy.
Are you running Sunday? You gonna run Sunday?
I plan on it. Yeah.
All right, cool. I better talk to you Sunday, man. Let's get on that podium.
I hope. Let's do it.
All right, man. Later.
See ya.
All right. Now we made him wait long enough here. Driver of the 32, Anthony. I believe I'm a piece of crap. I have a terrible memory. You know what my favorite hobby is, but I'm pretty sure I saw you get drugged up there last. You won the big block, correct?
Yes, sir.
How'd we do in the small block?
The 32 has seen a lot of the podium tonight. the top step.
Nice. You won all of them tonight.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, congratulations! I'll tell you what, that makes a little more sense there than why you were driving this thing so well. I saw maybe one mistake out of you. With about 7 laps to go, you touched the wall a little bit in 1 and 2, but I mean, even that was nothing to really allow Trevor to get to you. What is it about Kokomo, man, that you like so much? I mean, you come to this place, and every single time, it seems like you're coming home on the podium.
I don't know. It's definitely my favorite short track on the game. Really comfortable here as long as I can run up top. I can't run the bottom to save my life, but at the top I'm pretty good here. So it was a little sketchy there with the big block having to start on the inside row. I didn't like that too much, but just threw a big haymaker going to 1, made that work, and just did what I had to do here and tried to keep the momentum up as best I could. I kind of thought Brewer was going to be able to hold me off there, but with the bottom there early, the bottom was definitely much stronger than the top was. So just hit my marks, tried to find the most comfortable line for the car in 3 and 4. I was a little iffy with how that was working there, but it worked enough. I was kind of surprised. I think Trevor lost track of laps, and I think if he would have stayed up high a few more laps coming there towards the end and then went underneath me, then maybe try to throw a slider into 1 or something, he would have had me. But because sometimes when you're running these things, it kind of just blends all together, and next thing you know, it's the end of the show.
No, man, and dude, you know the deal. You can get really lost out there sometimes, especially at a racetrack like this. It looks small to everybody, maybe easy, but there's nothing about this place that's easy, especially running up right next to that wall. You can kind of lose track of that time, and easy to do. But Anthony, you touched on it a little bit. Bottom definitely quicker in the early stages, but they're around lap 9 or 10, I think, is when you made the push there finally on the outside. Were you surprised at all that Brewer didn't go up and try to shut the door? Because I don't know how much you could see. Trevor's down below him. He kind of got stuck there in no man's land in the middle. You guys were 3 wide for a little bit.
Yeah, it really threw me off. All of a sudden, my spotter goes, you're high and 3 wide. I'm like, I'm doing what? So I'm starting to look around. I'm like, who the hell's on the bottom here? And then I saw in the relative that Trevor was down there. I was like, that's interesting. And then saw more and more of his door each time in the corner. So I was like, all right, I got to kind of pinch down a little bit in 3 and see if I can maybe break some momentum or something he's got going on. So definitely I was rather surprised to hear 3 wide. Then because at first I thought it was Clay, because Clay likes to sneak around the bottom in these things. So, but Trevor definitely put his late model magic to the trick there, and did pretty good. Got a second. So I mean, a great night all around for the team. We swept the podium in all 3 divisions, so that was
great. I heard you got a top 6 in the big blocks, man. Tops 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, big block and small block did both.
Oh my gosh! Well, you need to yell at Trevor. He only told us about the big block, so he needs to get his information.
Gonna have to sit down and talk to that boy.
Well, Anthony, I've got a bone to pick with you too. I mean, obviously you do what you got to do, but I see maybe this Monday is your last, race. Do we know where we're at this Monday? Do I stand a chance to beat you at whatever track we are at? Where are we?
We are at Monday, Lernerville.
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
buddy.
I'm screwed. All right. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I know. That's why I just said I'm in for it. It's going to be a long Monday night, but Anthony, you dominated.
It can happen.
Yeah, maybe if I get some help from a lap car, I wouldn't be too upset by that, but we'll see. But Anthony, man, congratulations. Hell of a run tonight. 3 wins. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, brother?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Extra Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, Shaggy TV, Shaggy for doing a broadcast and sponsoring the Pro Late models. Thanks to the guys that came out here. I'm really wish we can finally get some more cars out for the Pro Late models. These things are a blast to drive. The modifieds is a good car count, especially we can get some guys to stick around a bit longer and come out and run with these. Really get this car count up. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. These things, dude, we used to, back in the, I think before you even, do you remember Kyle Parker? Were you here when Kyle Parker was here?
No.
Man, back in those days, dude, 20 to 30 car fields, and I was constantly finishing 24th. It was fantastic. But,
the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. But Anthony, congratulations, man. Hopefully I'm talking to you Sunday, brother.
I hope so. That'd be really good. It's going to be my last Sunday to race, so we'll see.
All right. Well, we're rooting for you, man. Go get mail.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Anthony Morano bringing home the win here, wrapping it up here for the Pro Late Models on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Good night of racing here for the FTM boys, apparently. Owning the top 5 here in all 3 races. That's well, if you're out there listening, if you're out there watching and you're part of another team, you better show up. You better dethrone these guys because they have been taking people to the woodshed here and absolutely beating the hell out of them. It's been impressive to watch. Congratulations to the Ant-Man winning 3 races here this evening. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, we'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long and have a good evening.